This Friday, Indiana basketball heads to Cincinnati to take on Xavier for their first quote unquote real game of the year. You're familiar with our friend Sean Miller, who is there. Jack Nungy, who is from right outside of Evansville, Newburgh, went to Iowa and transferred from there. His last game, he 21 minutes, he had 16 points, 8 rebounds. So he's going to be someone to deal with there. But I'm looking forward to that game to get a sense of where Indiana really is.
Totally. I mean, I obviously it's nice the Gavit's early, and gives you a even faster than kind of the ACC Big Ten Challenge. You're not watching the entire month of November and not knowing where this team is headed, and just seeing them just smash around the Bethune-Cookmans and the Morehead States of the world. But it's definitely going to be an interesting one. Obviously, Xavier is one of those teams that can play, bully ball basically in the same way that Indiana can. When you throw out Fremantle and Jack Nungy there, that's a big start. They still have, our old friend Jerome Hunter, who could shoot the basketball a little bit, and some other dudes are scoring the ball pretty well.
Oh my God, he's still there?
Yeah, believe it or not, still in there. Yeah, but I mean, they've actually obviously got some players, and they're just a nice looking outfit. And having to go.
Does Jordan Bohannon play for them by chance?
Jordan Bohannon is finally getting paid, and not just an NIL money to play this game.
I figured after a 10-year college career, maybe he had moved over to Xavier.
Yeah, at Iowa. You would just think that, hey, like Bohannon's just going to make the college game a career. Like
looking at Nungy. Nungy's hitting 40% from 3 this year. Yeah. Now I don't know how many shots that is because it's early in the year, but he's a 7-footer. Don't forget.
Last year, so yeah. No, I mean he can hit the occasional 3. So those guys can play inside and out.
So Race Thompson's probably going to draw that assignment, I would imagine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, though, I mean it's going to be a test. Yeah. I mean their front court is absolutely going to be a test, and obviously, Indiana's just been able to bully whoever they want so far. And right now you still get the sense of like, all right, between Thompson and Jackson Davis and then Reno and Geronimo off the bench, like who can even mess with this front court right now? And the answer is not many teams, but Xavier is going to have, better than a puncher's chance in there. They're not going to get pushed around. So that's going to be, I think, interesting to see if Indiana needs more from its guards. Has to put a bigger emphasis on getting good guard play. What does that look like? Basically, if it's kind of a wash in the middle there, how does that go? Because so far those get, the bigs have just been dominant. But you saw better shooting on what was it, Thursday night against Bethune-Cookman, where they hit 11 threes. So you see there's something there. And I don't know that. Obviously, big picture, I don't know. I still don't know if this is going to be a great 3-point shooting team. But Indiana is running a lot of guys out there that can shoot the basketball, and it's going to be interesting to see if that shows up in a game against sort of a like opponent. Somebody that at least is close to their level, if not at it. Whether they're still hitting those threes, whether they're still getting open looks, whether the ball movement creates as much space as it does against Bethune-Cookman. And whether
looking. Look, it's going to be a good challenge for Indiana. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Race Thompson having to guard someone out on the perimeter, and he is going to have to do that. But Jack Nungy also plays in the paint. He's probably going to play in the NBA.
Good chance. Yeah,
I mean, he's got good movement. When you can step out and shoot from outside, and you're willing to play in the paint like he is. My question is, how in the hell did he get out of Indiana? He started at Iowa. How the hell? I mean, Purdue, Indiana, Notre Dame,
Butler.
Come on.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, I just how in the hell does he get away? I'm serious. I mean,
let's look up his 24/7 page and let's go back. I mean, I don't even remember it. 2017.
Or we can do the rivals one instead.
Oh, yep. My fault. My fault. I apologize for that.
This message, that's funny.
I will call that.
That's a good point, though.
Yeah, no, let's look at his rivals page in 2017. My apologies. That's a faux pas on my part. Okay. So committed to Iowa. So I mean, this is your answer. I mean, like there's some guys they just don't have, like he was 185, as far as what he's listed on his rival page at Castle and Newburgh. Other offers, or at least school interest guys are listed. Ball State, Clemson, Creighton, Evansville, Georgia Tech, Nebraska, Toledo, Vanderbilt, then kind of towards the bottom, Indiana, Michigan, Northwestern, Stanford, Wisconsin. So what's that tell you? It tells you they looked at him.
I also know that he has grown quite a bit since he left Iowa. He's gone from being 6'9" to 7 foot.
7 foot.
That's a very big growth spurt in college. Which tells me he's not really 7 foot.
Also, remember a couple things. Guys get bigger. I mean, it happens. And so that's also class of 17 is also, Tom Crean's on the way out, at that point. And
that's true. That's true. Kind
of a mess there. They end up with, in that class that they, put together between, Tom starting it and Archie finishing it, was Justin Smith, Race Thompson, Clifton Moore, and Al Durham. So obviously they were looking for athletes in that to start with. That was kind of the goal. But Tom obviously had a sense at that point. They certainly started going south toward the second half of the year. Didn't sign bad players. I mean, Justin Smith and Al Durham, like you can say whatever you want about Justin's, but certainly finished well, when he left. So like, there was certainly an athlete there, so you can't look at that as a recruiting miss necessarily. And then Al Durham played above his station for, all 4 years he was at Indiana, and then went to Providence and won a Big East title. So it's not like they missed on those guys. Race Thompson certainly, is, doesn't have the same numbers as Nunji does, but obviously has been really, really effective. Clifton Moore, I don't even know where Clifton Moore is anymore, but all the same, you go 3 out of 4 in that class, despite the fact that you're in the middle of transition. That's not half bad. So as far as Indiana is concerned, but I get it. It happens. I mean, like there are other guys. I mean, like how many other guys are like that that we've seen in history in the state,
Oh, tons, all the time.
Littered with that. And it's, hindsight being 2020. I mean, I remember like my sort of favorite one of those from my first IU beat tenure was Bryant McIntosh. I remember looking at Brian McIntosh and thinking, what are you, 12? Like he just had this baby face look to him, and he was little and everything. And you're just like, all right, I mean, how's this kid going to hold up in the Big Ten? And what's he like top 5 all-time scorers for Northwestern? Like it wasn't built like, I was like watching him. It's like, okay, like I could see he's all right. But then like senior year, I saw him go off for like, I think it was Eric Gordon All-Stars he was on.